Xin chào tất cả các bạn, lại tiếp tục với series học tiếng Anh cùng cô Hải Yến. Thì chúng ta đã đi qua phần 1 của series, thì tiếp nối với phần 1 thì chúng ta sẽ đi vào phần 2. Với phần 2 này thì bây giờ chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu với Unit 1. Internal Memo. Thì bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đi vào phần 1, phần reading. Trong phần reading này thì cô sẽ đọc qua bài, sau đó thì cô sẽ hướng dẫn các em học. Unit 1, Internal Memo. To all at-risk employees and staff, please note that we have just begun a system-wide address of our internal security measures at the authorized campus. To prevent on-site intensive chores, it will be necessary to assemble a full biometrics profile of each employee and contractors who will mention Earth's physical presence on the Arctic campus. This process will require us retinal scans, fingerprinting, and the collections of a voice sample. Please note that complete of this process is mandatory. Exceptions shall only be provided upon the conditions of permissions attained from seminar managers. In these issues, alternative security cleaning may be provided on an individual basis. Scanners and trains shall announce all persons and accessors to the campus. Access will be allowed. Person not matching any recognized become profile may be escort of campus by corporate security bases. A down assist will continue in the efforts of research any possibilities. A data breach via center across internal servers are now required to be approved of both passwords on voice increased cognitions. New personal passwords from generous list, it will be size score. Additionally, breakthroughs in artificial intelligence have made it possible for us to begin automatic shortwave updates. Updates will no longer require individual approval from workers. Workers will also no longer need to submit weekly progress reports. All work performed on corporate software showing monitors externally is real-time by manager Germans. It is our hope that this more streamlined approach to cybersecurity will allow our workflow to become more efficient. As we continually explore new ventures for innovations and believe that maintenance a fully secure campus is a career way to answer our goals. The authorization upgrades will be conducted to maintaining interoperability and our softwares. Not to mention our positions and this industry leader. We would like to remind you that as team member, the feedback is extremely valuable to us, and its suggestions are welcome to should be director to manager. Concerns regarding and continuations of personal data collections may be taken up with the legal departments. Scanner installation is expected to be complete by the end of this quarter, and we ask for your patience and understanding as construction starts the career out. Unit 1, Internal Memo. To all active employee and staff, please note that he has just begun to exercise quite a grade of our internal security missions and artillery campers to prevent on-site danger charges. It will be necessary to assemble a few permit profiles of each employee and contractor who will maintain a physical presence on the agreed campus. This process will require retinal scans, fingerprinting, and the collection of the voice sample. Please note to complete completions of this process is mandatory. Exceptions are only to provide open the conductions of perimeters attempts for sanitary manager. In these situations, alternative security cleans may be provided on an individual basis. Scanners and trains or person as assistants where the campus access will be allowed. Person not matching any recognized biometric profile may be escorted of campus by corporate security. Back research and pat-down assist will continue. In an effort to address any facilities a data breach, file trans across internal servers are now required to be approved by both password on voice praise recognitions. New personal passports will be generated daily and will be not required. Additionally, research in intelligence have made it possible for us to begin automatic software updates. Update will no longer require individual approval from worker. Worker will also no longer need to submit weekly progress reports. Other work performed on corporate software Xiaomi mentions instantaneously in real-time management. It is our hope that is more streamlined approaches will allow workflows to become more efficient. As a case, we continue to explore new events for innovations. It believes that maintaining the very second campus is career way and so thus these small objects will to conduce to maintaining increase our produce and our software, not to mention our position and industry leader. We would like to remind you as team member, your feedback is extremely valuable to us, and its suggestions are welcome. And should be directed and manager concerned regarding and considerations of personal data collections may be taken up with the legal departments. Scanner installation is expensive to be completed by the end of this quarter, and we ask for the patience and understandings as construction tasks are carried out. Unit 1 Internal Memo. All active employee and staff, please note that we have just begun a system-wide upgrade our internal security measures at the campus to prevent on-site danger charges. It will be necessary to assemble to force biometric profile of each employee and contractor who will maintain a physical presence on the authorized campus. This process will require additional scans, fingerprints, and the collections of a voice sample. Please note that compilations and this process is mandatory. Exceptions are only to provide open the conditions of permission assigned from seminar manager sermons. In these situations, it's like security cleaner may be provided on the individual basis. Scanners in transform, analyzer or person and scanner with the compass access will be allowed personal not matching any recognized. Because metric profile may be escorted of campus by corporate securities. Messages and pass down and it will continue. In an effort to recognize any position of database, file tends across internal servers and now requires to be approved by password and voice descriptions. The personal passwords are generated daily and will not be critical. Additional breakdown in intelligence have made it possible for us to begin automatic shortwave updates. Updates which no longer require individual approval from worker. Worker will also no longer need to submit quickly progress reports at our work performed on corporate software showing mixed internal in this time. By managers in just hope in our streaming approach, it allows our workflow to become more efficient. Thì đó là cô đã đọc xong phần reading của bài Unit 1. Bây giờ thì cô sẽ cho mọi người thời gian để mọi người có thể tìm hiểu qua bài, sau đó thì chúng ta sẽ học tiếp phần tiếp theo nhé. Tiếp tục với phần đọc thì bây giờ con sẽ đọc sang phần bài thứ hai bài thứ hai của chúng ta nha. Trần Đình Long, the second richest man in Vietnam, talks about his life story. I studied from nothing as a kid. My father refused to service in the army during the American War, selfless to Americans as the refugee that we were so poor. My father could only find blue-collar job. He eventually became a plumber. He has to help him with his job. But I knew I couldn't leverage this kind of life. This motivated to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy. But I had to earn money to support my family. So I got a job as a career, while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time, I was working harder than slaver and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my family out of poverty. The best part of being a career whether I picked a business life in the office I did measure. Time was cost tough for our family. The debt collector calls our house every day. That's a need God calling. So one day I was bringing the measure in this larger construction company, and instead of handing it to the receptionist, I was driving to the supervisor office. He was asking one of the handings it to the receptionist. I walked right into the supervisor office. I go asking one of the employee for a solution to a shipping error that the company made. Before the other employee could answer, I answered, recalling my studies. The supervisor was impressed and asked me for my name. He told me to come see him the next day. I started working for the company the next day as name. As his apprentice, he taught me everything I knew about sectors and the construction industry. Then I climbed the corporate ladder, and after a couple of years, I quit working for that company. I started my own construction business in Vietnam. Well, my company invests over $200 million. I have a person secretary and guard, a driver, and even a chef. That fulfill my every command. Today I will having lunch with the ambassador extraordinary of Vietnam and with the president next week. And my father is happily retired, living in his own mansion. So what you need to understand is that success will never come and find you. You need to go out and get it. Trần Đình Long, the second richest man in Vietnam, talked about his life story. I started from nothing. As a kid, my father refused to service in the army during the American War, so we fled to America as refugees. There, we were so poor, my father could only find blue-collar job. He eventually became a plumber. I had to help him with his job, but I knew I couldn't last this kind of life. This motivated to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy, but I had to earn money to support my family. So I got a job as a career, while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time, I was working harder than slaver and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my family out of poverty. The best part of being career as I got a piece of business life in the office a dear mail too. Time to travel for our families. The debt collector go our house every day. Destiny work callings. So one day I go bring some mail too. Is this to larger constructions company? And instead of handing it to rest. The receptionist, I walked right into the supervisor office. He worked as one of the employees for solutions to shipping error that the company made. But before the other employee could answer, I answered. Recalling my studies, I started working for the company the next day as his apprentice. He taught me everything he knew about extras and construction industry. There I climbed the corporate ladder and after a couple of years, I quit working for that company. I started my own construction business in Vietnam. Now my company has worth over $200 million. I have a personal secretary in guard, a driver, and even a chef. That will fulfill my every dollar. I have a personal secretary and guard, a driver, and even a chef. That will fulfill my every command. Today I will be having lunch with the ambassador, extraordinary of Vietnam, and with the president next week. And my father is happily retired, living in his own mansions. So what you need to understand is that success will never come to find you. You need to go out and get it. Trending Long, the second richest man in Vietnam, talks about his life story. I studied from now as a kid, my father refused to service in the army during the American War, so we fled to American after refugee. That we were so poor. My father could only fire a blue-collar job. He eventually became a plumber. I had to help him with his job, but I knew I couldn't leave this guy alive. This motivated me to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy, but I had to earn money to support my family. So I got a job as a career while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time I was working harder than slaver and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my families out of poverty. The best part of being a career was I got to pick up business line. In the office I did more mail too. Time got several for our family. The debt collector calls our house every day. Destiny was calling. So one day, I go bringing the mail to a larger construction company. And instead of handing it's the receptionist, I go right to the supervisor office. He was asking one of the employees for a solution to the shipping error that the company made before other employees could answer. I answered recalling my studies. The supervisor was impressed and asked me for my quick answer. I answered, recalling my studies. The supervisor was impressed and asked me for my name. He told me I come here see him the next day. I started working for the company the next day as name. He told me to come hear him the next day. I started working for the company the next day as his apprentice. He taught me everything he knew about tractors and the construction industry. Then I climbed the corporate ladder, and after a couple there, I quit working for dance company, I started my own construction business in Vietnam. Now my company is got over some $100 million. I have a personal secretary and guard, a driver, and even a chef that will fulfill my every command. Today I will be having luncheon with the ambassador. Extraordinary of Vietnam and his president next week. And my father is happily retired, living in his own mansion. So what you need to understand is that success will never come and find you. You need to go out and get it. Thì đó là cô đã đọc xong phần reading. Bây giờ cô sẽ cho mọi người thời gian để mọi người tìm hiểu qua bài. Sau đó thì chúng ta sẽ đi vào phần số 2, phần từ vựng của ngày hôm nay. Bây giờ thì chúng ta sẽ đến với phần 2, phần từ vựng. Ở phần 2 này chúng ta hôm nay sẽ có những từ vựng nào thì có chữ alternate, native, thay thế, amplitude, đồ nông, analyze, phân tích, appears, rõ ràng, approach, đến gần, approximate, khoảng, arrest, phí, defeat, seer, nhân tạo, scarce, rotten, xác định, assemble, tập hợp, assume, cho rằng, attain, giành được, automatic, tự động, breakthrough, phát minh, và từ compatible, tương thích, conditions, điều khiển, conduct, có ích, confine, hạn chế, dimensions, kích thước, electric, city, điện, progress, tiến độ, Reactivate. Sửa chữa. Recycle. Tái chế. System. Hệ thống. Technical. Kỹ thuật. Transfer. Chuyển. Update. Cập nhật. Upgrade. Nâng cấp. Thì đấy là toàn bộ từ mới của chúng ta trong ngày hôm nay. Thì ngoài ra cô sẽ chấm thêm cho các bạn một số từ mới khác. Ví dụ, một số từ mới mà cô sẽ thêm vào, ví dụ như là afraid, sợ hãi, việc, ambassador, đại sứ, apprentice, người học việc, architecture, kiến trúc, army, quân đội, astronomy, thiên văn học, police, đàn, campaigns, chiến dịch, charity, từ thiện, chefs, bếp trưởng, color, cổ áo, collector, người sưu tầm, command, chỉ huy, career, người đưa thư, driver, lái xe, economy, nền kinh tế, guard, người bảo vệ. Thì đấy là toàn bộ từ mới của chúng ta ngày hôm nay. Thì cô sẽ cho mọi người thời gian để mọi người có thể chép từ mới vào vở. Sau đó thì cô sẽ hướng dẫn cách phát âm nha. Bài hơi dài nên là cô rất là mong mọi người có thể tập trung chú ý nha. Bây giờ thì cô sẽ hướng dẫn cách phát âm của buổi học ngày hôm nay nhá. Thì bây giờ thì cô sẽ hướng dẫn phát âm từ mới này. Alternatives, thay thế. Amplitudes, độ nông. Analysis, phân tích. Appearance, rõ ràng. Approach, đến gần. Approximate, khoảng. Artificial, nhân tạo. Ascertain, xác định. Estimable, tập hợp. Assure, cho rằng. Absence, giành được. Automatic, tự động. Breakthrough, compensator. Tương thích, conditions, điều khiển. Conductive, có ích. Confine, hạn chế. Dimensions, kích thước. Electricity, điện. Progress, tiến độ. Rectify, sửa chữa. Recycle, tái chế. System, hệ thống. Technical, kỹ thuật. Trans, chuyển. Update, cập nhật. Upgrade, nâng cấp. Affair, việc. Ambassador, đại sứ. Apprentice, người học việc. Architecture, kiến trúc. Army, quân đội. Astronomy, thiên văn học. Bless, dance. Campaign, chiến dịch. Charity, từ thiện. Chef, bếp trưởng. Color, cổ áo. Collector, người sưu tầm. Commons, chỉ huy. Courier, người đưa thư. Driver, lái xe. Economy, nền kinh tế. Guard, người bảo vệ. Bây giờ thì cô sẽ đọc mỗi từ 3 lần, sau đó các em sẽ đọc theo cô nhé. Alternative, 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 thay thế. Amplitude, 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 đồ nông. Analysis, 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 phân tích. Apparent, 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 rõ ràng. Approach, approach, đến gần. Approximate, approximate, khoảng. Artificals, 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 nhân tạo. Acceptance, 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 xác định. Assemblable, assemblable, tập hợp. Assume, 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 cho rằng. Attain, 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 giành được. Automatic, 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 tự động. Breakthrough, breakthrough, phát minh. Compatible, 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 conditions, 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 điều khiển. Conducts, 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 confines, confines, dimensions, dimensions, kích thước. Electricity, electricity, progress, 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 tiến bộ. Rectify, 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 sửa chữa. Recycle, recycle, tái chế. System, 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 hệ thống. Technical, 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 kỹ thuật. Transfer, 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 chuyển. Update, 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 cập nhật. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Affair, 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 việc. Ambassador, 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 đại sứ. Apprentice, 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 architectures, architectures, kiến trúc, army, 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 quân đội, astronomy, astronomy, thiên văn học, bullet, 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 campaigns, campaigns, chiến dịch, charity, 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 từ thiện, chef, 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 bếp trưởng, color, 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 cổ áo, collector, collector, người sưu tầm, command, command, chỉ huy, courier, 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 người đưa thư, driver, the driver, lái xe, economy, economy, nền kinh tế, guard, guard, người bảo vệ. Bây giờ thì cô sẽ đọc lại nhá. Alternative, alternative, thay thế. Amplitude, amplitude, đồ nông. Analysis, analysis, phân tích. Apparent, apparent, rõ ràng. Approach, approach, đến gần. Approximate, approximate, khoảng. Artificial, 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 nhân tạo. Ascertainty, ascertainty, xác định. Assume, assume, cho rằng. Assemblable, assemblable, tập hợp. Attend, 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 giành được. Automatics, automatics, tự động. Breakthrough, breakthrough, phát minh. Compensable, 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 tương thích. Condition, 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 điều khiển. Conduct size, conduct size, có x. Confine, confine, hạn chế. Dimensions, dimensions, kích thước. Electricity, electricity, progress, 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 tiến độ. Rectifice, 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 sửa chữa. Recycle, 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 tái chế. System, system, hệ thống. Technical, technical, kỹ thuật. Transfer, 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 chuyển. Update, update, cập nhật. Upgrade, upgrade, nâng cấp. Affair, affair, việc. Ambassador, ambassador, đại sứ. Apprentice, apprentice, người học việc. Architecture, 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 kiến trúc. Army, army, quân đội. Astronomy, astronomy, thiên văn học. Bullet, bullet, đạn. Campaign, campaign, chiến dịch. Charity, charity, từ thiện. Chef, chef, bếp trưởng. Collar, collar, cổ áo. Collector, collector, người sưu tầm. Command, command, chỉ huy. Courier, courier, người đưa thư. Driver, driver, lái xe. Economy, economy, nền kinh tế. Guard, guard, người bảo vệ. Alternatives, thay thế. Amplitude, đồ nông. Analysis, phân tích. Apparent, rõ ràng. Approach, đến gần. Approximate, khoảng. Artificial, nhân tạo. Ascertain, xác định. Assemble, tập hợp. Assume, cho rằng. Attend, giành được. Automatic, tự động. Breakthrough, phát minh. Compatible, tương thích. Condition, điều khiển, conduct size, có ích, confine, hạn chế. Dimensions, kích thước, electricity, điện, progress, tiến độ. Rectify, sửa chữa, recycle, tái chế, system, hệ thống, technical, kỹ thuật, transfer, truyền, update, cập nhật, upgrade, nâng cấp. Affair, việc, ambassador, đại sứ, apprentice, người học việc, architecture, kiến trúc, army, quân đội, astronomy, thiên văn học, bullets, đạn, campaigns, chiến dịch, charities, từ thiện, chef, bếp trưởng, color, cô áo, collector, người sưu tầm, commands, chỉ huy, career, người đưa thư, driver, lái xe, economy, nền kinh tế, guard, người bảo vệ. Thì đấy là toàn bộ từ mới của chúng ta trong ngày hôm nay. Thì bây giờ cô sẽ cho mọi người thời gian để mọi người có thể xem lại bài. Sau đó thì chúng ta sẽ đi về phần số 3 của ngày hôm nay, phần translate. Chào anh. Em chào anh.
Nào buổi sinh nhật kiểu như vlog
Mai sinh nhật mà.
tưởng đi nhậu.
Đi đâu đi thông báo thôi. Đấy gọi là gì
Đi bụt này.
Có cái nào đi nữa? Tưởng là cả anh đi sông Mỹ coi đồ rồi.
Ai bay vậy đấy?
Hả?
Ai bay vậy đi xem mình coi đâu đấy?
Anh Quyết. Ôi trời, tiền rớt.
Lên được bả trái.
Có lẽ em phải đi qua đó để mua cái tăm nước thật. 17 đường Lê Viết Thuật à anh? Đường cái kia, Hà Huy Tập. Hả? Cái trời à. Cái ột này có to. Trời. Cái là nói chuyện. Bây giờ thì chúng ta sẽ chuyển sang phần số 2 của phần số 3 của ngày hôm nay nhé, phần translate. Translate. Vào anh này cứ đi món à. Unboxing. Với phần translate thì bây giờ cô sẽ đọc qua bài, sau đó thì cô sẽ cho mọi người thời gian và chúng ta sẽ dịch văn bản này nhá. Unit 1. Internal memo. All artist employees and staff, please note that we have just begun a system-wide upgrade of our internal security measures at the artist campus. To prevent on-site instances charges, it will be necessary to assemble a full blasphemous profiles of each employee and contractor who will mention the physical presence on the campus. This process will require retinal scans, fingerprinting, and the collection of the voice sample. Please note that compilations of this process and mandatory exceptions.
Gì?
Chào
Em
anh.
về đây. Hả? Đi bộ á? Chào đi nghe tình cảm này.
Tự dưng đi bộ về trời. Xe anh mau. A collection of voice sample. Please note that compilations, this process, and mandatory exceptions shall only to provide upon conditions, permissions, attainable from seminars, managers, Germans, and these institutions. Analysis security cleanliness may be provided on an individual basis. Scanners and transformers a person ask whether campus access will be allowed. Personnel not matching any requisites noticed profiles may be escorted campus by corporate securities. Measures and past data assist will continue. In an effort to recognize any possible of a database file trends across internal servers and are recognized to be approved by post to voice print recognized. New personal passwords shorter than the rest daily and will not be recycled. Additions, breakthrough in artificial intelligence have made it possible for us to begin automatic software updates. Updates will no longer require individual approval from workers. Workers will also no longer need to submit quickly progress reports as August performs on corporate software shall be mostly external in real time by managers. It is our hope that this more streams across those cyber will allow workflows to become more efficient. As risks, we continually expose neurons enormous beliefs. Trending along the second richest man in Vietnam tells about his life story. I studied from nothing. As a kid, my father refused to service in the army during the American War, so we fled Americans as refugees. There we were so poor, my father could only find blue-collar jobs. He eventually became a plumber. I had to help him with his job. But I knew I couldn't leave this kind of life. This motivated me to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy. But I had to earn money to support my family, so I got a job at a career while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time, I was working harder than slaver and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my family out properly. The best part of being a courier was I got a piece of business line in this office I direct mail to. Time got tougher for our family. The debt collector called our house every day. Destiny was calling. So one day I was bringing the mail to this larger construction company. So instead of handing it to receptionist, I was writing to the supervisor office. He was asking one of the employees for a solution to a shipping error that the company makes. Before the employee could answer, I answered, recalling my studies. The supervisor got impressed and asked me for my name. He told me to come see him the next day. I started working for the company the next day as his apprentice. He taught me everything he knew about sector and the construction industry, like corporates, ladder and after a couple of years. I quit working for that company to start my own construction business in Vietnam. Now my company is worth over $200 million. I have a personal secretary and guard and a driver and even a chef. That will fulfill my every commands. Today I will be having lunch with the Ambassador Extraordinary of Vietnam and with the President next week. And my father be happily retired living in his own mansions. So what you need to understand is that success won't ever come and find you. You need to go out and get it. Trần Đình Long, the second richest man in Vietnam, talks about his life story. I started from nothing. As a kid, my father refused to service in the army during the American War, so we fled to Americans as refugees. Then we were so poor, my father could only find blue-collar job. He eventually became a plumber. I had to help him with his job, but I knew I couldn't live this kind of life. This motivated me to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy, but I had to earn money to support my family. So I got a job as a career while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time I was working harder than slaver and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my family out of poverty. The best part of being a courier was I got to pick up business line in the office in terrible measure. Time got tougher for our family. The debt collector called our house every day. Destiny was calling, so one day I was bringing the mail through. These larger construction companies instead of handies. It's to the receptionist. I walked right into the supervisor office. He was asking one of the employees for a solution to a shipping error that company made. Before the employee could answer, I answered recalling my studies. The supervisor was impressed and asked me for my name. He told me to come see him the next day. I started working for the company the next day at his apprentice. He taught me everything he knew about sector and the construction industry. There I climbed the corporate ladder, and after a couple of years, I quit working for that company to start my own construction business in Vietnam. Now my company is worth over $200 million. I have a personal secretary, Edgar, a driver, and even a chef. Just to fulfill my every command today, I will be having lunch with the ambassador extraordinary of, of Vietnam and with the president next week. And my father is happily retired, living in his own mansion. So what you need to understand is that success will never come and find you. You need to go out and get it. You need Trending Long, the second richest man in Vietnam, talks about his life stories. I started from nothing. As a kid, my father refused to service in the armies during the American War. So we left to America as refugees. There, we were so poor, my father could only find blue-collar job. He eventually became a plumber. I had to help him with his job. But I knew I could not live this kind of life. This motivated me to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy, but I had to earn money to support my family. So I got a job as a courier, while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time, I was working harder than slavery and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my family out of poverty. The best part of being a courier was I got to pick up business like in the office, the daily mail too. Time got started for our family. The debt collector called our house every day. Destiny was calling. So one day I was bringing the mail to in this larger construction company, and instead of handing it to receptionist, I walked right into the supervisor office. He was asking one of the employees for a solution to a shipping error that the company made. Before the employee could answer, I answered, recalling my studies. The supervisor was impressed and asked me for my name. He told me to come see him the next day. I started working for the company the next day as his apprentice. He taught me everything he knew about sector and the construction industry. There I climbed the corporate ladder, and after a couple years, I quit working for that company to start my own construction business in Vietnam. Now my company is got over $200 million. I have a personal secretary, a guard, a driver, and even a chef. That will fulfill my every command today. I will be having lunch with the ambassador extraordinary of Vietnam and with the president next week. And my father is happily retired, living in his own mansion. So what needs to understand is that success will never come and find you. You need to go out and get it. Thì đó là cái phần của chúng ta ngày hôm nay. Thì bây giờ cô sẽ cho mọi người thời gian để mọi người thử dịch cái văn bản. Sau đó thì cô sẽ chữa bài nhá. was. Bày ra. Was. Mấy nghiêng với cái hộp to bự. Tiếp tục thì bây giờ cô sẽ dịch cái văn bản này nhá. Unit 1. Internal memo. All other employees or staff, please note that he has just begun a system-wide upgrade internal security measures at the Artsright campus. Kính thưa toàn bộ cán bộ công nhân viên Artsright, xin lưu ý rằng chúng tôi vừa bắt đầu upgrade toàn bộ thiết bị các biện pháp an ninh nội bộ tại khuôn viên Artsright. To prevent on-site intensive job faults, it was necessary to assist some of four biometrics profiler and each employee and contractor who will maintain a physical process on the access campus. This process will require external scan, fingerprinting, and the collector of a voice sample. Please note that compilations of this process is mandatory. Exceptions are shall only to provide, upon the conditions or permissions, a sample seminar, management institutions, alternative security cleans may be provided on an individual basis. Để ngăn chặn ra những gian lận, cần phải hồ sơ sinh trắc học đầy đủ từng nhân viên, nhà thầu, những người sẽ duy trì làm việc trong khuôn viên ATEX. Process này sẽ yêu cầu quét vòng mạc, dấu vân tay và thu mẫu giọng nói. Xin lưu ý, qua quá trình này là bắt buộc, các trường hợp ngoại lệ chỉ được chấp nhận với được quản lý cao cấp thông qua. Trong trường hợp này, quy trình an ninh có thể được cung cấp cho từng cá nhân. Scanner and entrance delays all the person is scared. Whether campus access will be allowed, persons not matching any recognized uniform profile may be escorted off campus to compress security. Messages and pass direct access will continue. Máy quét tài lối vào sẽ cho tất cả mọi người đi qua vào việc cấp phép cho việc đi vào khuôn viên. Bảo mật công ty có thể buộc những người không phù hợp bất kỳ hồ sơ sinh trắc học nào rời khỏi khu này, sau đó họ sẽ kiểm tra tôi, tiếp tục quét lại một lần nữa tại lối ra. In an effort to recognize any positions of the database file transfer across internal service are now recognized to be approved by passport footprint recognized. The personal passport file standards daily and will not be recycled. Do đó chúng tôi rất nỗ lực đổ lỗi dữ liệu nên việc tìm các qua máy chủ nội bộ phải sử dụng cá nhân, đăng mật khẩu và giọng nói. Hàng ngày phải thay đổi mật khẩu cá nhân mới và không được lặp lại. Additional breakthroughs in ASIC intelligence have made it possible for us to begin automatic shortwave updates. Updates will no longer require individual rovers from Worker. Worker will also no longer need to submit quickly progress reports. Other work performers on corporate shortwaves shall be monitored external in real time by manager. Thêm vào đó, nhờ trong trí tuệ mà giờ đây vì mỗi nhân viên phải tự cập nhật phần mềm thì mọi thứ sẽ được thực hiện một cách tự động. Đồng thời, nhân viên không còn phải nộp báo cáo hàng tuần nữa vì tất cả các thứ được sử dụng phần mềm. Công ty sẽ được ban quản lý giám sát trong thời gian trực. It's our hope that this more stream extra to site search will allow our workflow to become more efficient. Hy vọng rằng cách an ninh mạng mới này sẽ giúp tiến trình xử lý công việc trở nên hiệu quả. As after we continues at lost new events in the world, it believes that maintaining a fully secure campus is the greater answer our goal. Their breast will be contracted to managers of produce and our shortways. Not to mention auto positions as an industry leader. Tại us, chúng ta liên tục thêm những cách thức đổi mới và tin tưởng rằng việc duy trì một khuôn viên thực sự hoàn toàn là kim chỉ nam để đảm bảo cho sự phát triển của chúng ta. Những nâng cấp nói trên sẽ giới thiệu cho việc duy trì sự nguyên vẹn của các sản phẩm và phần mềm công ty. Chưa kể đến vị thế dẫn đầu ngành công nghiệp của chúng ta, chúng tôi muốn nhắc nhở bạn rằng với tư cách một thành viên của công ty, phản hồi của các bạn rất có giá trị đối với chúng tôi. Bất kỳ đề xuất nào đều được khuyến khích gửi về trực tiếp cho ban quản lý. Nếu có bất cứ lo ngại nào về tính hợp pháp của việc thu thập dữ liệu cá nhân trên, xin vui lòng gửi về phòng pháp chế. Việc cài đặt máy quét dự kiến sẽ hoàn tất vào cuối quý này và chúng tôi mong bạn sẽ kiên nhẫn và hiểu rõ công việc đang thực hiện. We got to remind you that as team member, your feedback is extremely valuable to us. Any suggestions are welcome and should be directed to management. Concerns regarding to costs to personal data collections may be taken up with the legal departments. Scans installation except to be completed by the end of this quarter and ask for the patience and understanding as constructions that are career hour. Thì đó là cái phân tích của buổi học ngày hôm nay của chúng ta. Thì bây giờ cô sẽ cho mọi người thời gian để mọi người xem lại bài. Sau đó thì chúng ta sẽ đi với phần 4, phần speaking. Ôi trời ơi, mọi người ơi. Không trả lời sự. Thấy chưa? Đầu má. Phải thật. Em đang tìm tới ha, một cậu. Phải thiệt. Khen cậu anh đẹp trai. Má, còn đơn hả anh? Alo anh. Alo.
Alo,
Em đấy.
ghi âm xong chạy qua chơi nhá.
Đâu em đâu, có đâu.
Qua đi,
Không không, em mặc đồ ní em qua được.
qua đi mà.
Không, mặc đồ ní em đi chơi được đâu.
Qua đi anh đang còn chuyện vui mà. Qua đi con chơi với anh bắt em ngủ đâu.
Có anh ơi á.
Em nghĩ anh mà anh đâu có ngoài đâu.
Thảo có.
Thảo anh chưa gọi, Thảo đi về đánh, Thảo không đi đâu. Thảo về đánh không đi đâu.
Em không đi đâu, mặc đồ ní em không đi chơi gặp người khác đâu.
Có anh mà gặp, mày em mình thôi mà.
Vậy anh em cũng mặc đồ ní đâu. Thôi chờ em về Tây Đô còn được.
Em mới thay đồ ra.
Thôi, về Tây Đô thì về em ngủ tẻ thôi.
Em là một điều gì đó rất kiểu tổn về anh nhá.
Ôi trời ơi, em không về, em yêu anh nhiều lắm. Trời ơi.
Thôi đừng nói đâu đấy, đừng nói đâu đấy.
Ờ.
Để anh kiếm người yêu lại.
Thôi anh kiếm người yêu đi.
Không nào.
Không ra đâu.
Đã đi.
Không, để em quay phim đi, coi em về ngủ đi.
Bây giờ cũng đã rồi à?
Tá đây.
Anh
Trời ơi, đơn của tao. Mới xịp nhẹ anh. Trời ơi, câu chuyện mọi người à. Rồi tiếp tục thì bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đến với phần 4 của ngày hôm nay, phần speaking. Thì trong phần 4 này thì bây giờ cô sẽ đọc cái văn bản này nhá. Trần Đình Long, the second richest man in Vietnam, talks about his life story. I started from nothing. As a kid, my father refused to serve in the army during the American War, so we fled to Americans as refugees. There, we were so poor, my father could only find blue-collar jobs. He eventually became a plumber. I had to help him with his job, but I knew I couldn't live this kind of life. This motivated me to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy, but I had to earn money to support my family. So I got a job as a career, while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time, I was working harder than slaver and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my family out of poverty. The best part of being a career was I got a piece of business line in the office, the digital mutual time got suffer for our family. The debt collector go our house every day. That's an ego callings. So one day I was bringing the mail to this larger construction company. And instead of handing it to the receptionist, I walked right into the supervisor office. He was asking one of the employees for solutions to shipping error that the company made. Before the other employee could answer, I answered, recalling my studies. The supervisor was impressed and asked me for my name. He told me to come see him the next day. I started working for the company the next day. Asked name. He told me to come see him the next day. I started working the company the next day as his apprentice. He taught me everything he knew about Texas and the construction industry. I climbed the corporate ladder, and after a couple of years, I quit working for that company. I started my own construction business in Vietnam. Now my company is worth over $200 million. I have a personal secretary and girl, a driver, and even a chef that will fulfill my every score dollar. Comments. Today I will be having lunch with the ambassador extraordinary of Vietnam in his residence next week, and my father is happily retired, living his own mansions. So what you need to understand is that success won't ever come and find you. You need to go out and get it. Unit 1. Trần Đình Long, the second richest man in Vietnam, talks about his life story. I started from nothing as a kid. My father refugees to serve in the army during the American War. So we fled to America, got refugees. There, we were so poor. My father could only find blue-collar job. He eventually became a plumber. I had to help him with his job, but I knew I couldn't live this kind of life. This motivated me to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy, but I had to earn money to support my family. So I got a job as a career, while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time, I was working harder than slaver and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my family out of poverty. The rest trust. Can I so. Time got tougher for our family. The debt collector goes out house every day. Destiny got calling, so one day I bring in the mails through this larger construction company, and instead of handing it to the receptionist, I walked right into the supervisor's office. He was asking one of their employees for a solution to a shipping error that the company made before the other employees could answer. I answered, recalling my studies. Uh, the supervisor got impressed and asked me for my name. He asked me to come see him the next day. I started working for the company the next day as his apprentice. He told me everything he knew about sector and the construction industry, like the corporate ladder, and after a couple of years, I quit working for that company to start my own construction business in Vietnam. Now my company is worth over $200 million. I have a personal secretary and girl, a driver, and even a chef that will fulfill my every command. Today I will be having lunch with the ambassador extraordinary of Vietnam in his residence next week, and my father is happily retired, living in his own mansions. So what you need to understand is that success won't ever come and find you. You need to go out and get it. Unit 1. Trần Đình Long, the second richest man in Vietnam, talks about in his life. Trần Đình Long. I started from nothing. As a kid, my father refugees to serve in the army during the American War. So we fled to Americans as refugees. There, we were so poor. My father could only find blue-collar job. He eventually became a plumber. I had to help him with his job, but I knew I couldn't live this kind of life. This motivated me to study hard. I wanted to learn everything I could about American business and economy, but I had to earn money to support my family. So I got a job as a career, while also continuing to study many hours every day. At the time, I was working harder than slaver and barely sleeping, but I could do anything to help bring my family out of poverty. The best part of being a courier was I got to pick a business line in the office I deliver mail to. Thank God suffer for our families. The debt collector goes our house every day. Destiny was calling. So one day I was bringing the mail to this larger construction company. And instead of handing it the receptionist, I walked right into the supervisor's office. He was asking one of the employees for a solution to a shipping error that the company made. Before the other employee could answer, I answered. Recall my studies, the supervisor was impressed and asked me for my name. He told me to come see him. The next day, I started working for the company the next day as his apprentice. He taught me everything he knew about sector and the construction industry. His apprentice, he taught me everything he knew about sectors and his construction industry. Then I climbed the corporate ladder, and after a couple of years, I quit working for that companies to start my own construction business in Vietnam. Now my company is worth over $200 million. I have a personal secretary and guard, a driver, and even a chef that will fulfill my every command. Today I will be having lunch with some ambassador extraordinary of Vietnam in with the president next week, and my father is happily retired, living in his own mansion. So what you need to understand is that success will never come and find you. You need to go out and get it. Thì đó là cái phần speaking của chúng ta ngày hôm nay. Thì buổi học của chúng ta hôm nay cũng kết thúc tại đây. Thì cô rất là cảm ơn mọi người đã xem video của cô. Thì nếu mà các em có thắc mắc hay là có bình luận nào thì các em có thể comment ở phía dưới bên bình luận nhé.